A love beyond time. In the heart of a bustling city, amidst the whirl of daily life, two souls were about to collide in a story that transcended time. Part 1, Serendipity. It was a crisp autumn afternoon when Sara first noticed him. She was sipping her coffee at a quaint cafe, lost in her thoughts about work and life. He walked in with a casual grace, his eyes scanning the room until they met hers. Sara felt a jolt, a connection that seemed to stretch beyond the ordinary. His name was David, and he worked at a nearby bookstore. They exchanged a few words that day, enough for Sara to feel the stirrings of curiosity and perhaps something more. Days turned into weeks, and soon they found themselves meeting at the cafe more often than not. David was a writer, his words painting vivid pictures of places he had never been and emotions he had long forgotten. Sara, on the other hand, was an artist, her canvases capturing moments of fleeting beauty. Their conversations flowed effortlessly, each discovering layers of the other that seemed familiar yet new. They laughed over shared memories that couldn't possibly belong to them, stories that felt like whispers from another time. Part 2, Unraveling the Mystery. As their bond deepened, Sara couldn't shake the feeling that she had known David before, that their meeting was not mere chance but a reunion of souls separated by time. David, too, confessed to feeling a sense of déjà vu, as if he had loved her in a different lifetime. They began to explore this connection, delving into books on reincarnation and soulmates, searching for answers that eluded them. Sara painted scenes of distant landscapes she had never visited, yet felt she had once called home. David wrote stories of love lost and found, weaving in fragments of memories that seemed to belong to them. One evening, under the glow of streetlights and the hum of the city, David took Sara's hand and whispered, "Do you believe in forever?" Sara looked into his eyes, seeing galaxies of possibilities reflected in their depths. "With you," she said, "forever feels like home." Part 3, Trials of Time. Their love was not without challenges. Life threw its curveballs, illnesses, misunderstandings, and moments of doubt. Yet through it all, Sara and David clung to each other, their bond growing stronger with each passing storm. They traveled together, chasing sunsets and starlit skies, making memories that felt both timeless and fragile. In quiet moments, Sara traced the lines of David's face, memorizing every curve as if afraid he might vanish with the dawn. One winter evening, as snowflakes danced outside their window, Sara whispered a question that had lingered in her heart for far too long. "David," she began, "do you remember who we were?" David's gaze softened, his fingers intertwining with hers. "I remember fragments," he confessed. "A garden bathed in moonlight, where we whispered secrets to the stars, a promise made under a canopy of cherry blossoms." Tears welled in Sara's eyes, emotions swelling like a river bursting its banks. "I remember, too," she said softly. "A lighthouse on a cliff, where the sea met the sky in an endless embrace. A love that defied the tides of time." Part 4, Eternity. As seasons turned and years passed, Sara and David remained inseparable. Their love deepened, transcending the boundaries of mortality. They grew old together, their hands wrinkled yet intertwined, their hearts beating in sync with the rhythm of the universe. One spring morning, as Sara sat beside David's bedside, watching the sunlight play on his weathered face, she knew their time together was drawing to a close. David smiled at her, his eyes twinkling with the wisdom of ages. "Do not weep for me, my love," he whispered. "For even in death, I will find my way back to you." Sara held his hand, feeling the pulse of eternity coursing through their veins. "I will wait for you," she promised, her voice a whisper lost in the echoes of forever. And so, As the sun set on a life well lived, Sara closed her eyes and felt the familiar stirrings of a love that had no beginning and no end, a love that spanned lifetimes and beyond.